All right, check it out. You remember the other day when the actual Puerto Rican warrior went on Tim Pool's show to debate Emma Vigeland? And then when Emma started losing, she went to some personal smears, some real lowbrow hacky stuff, and accused Tim Pool of inspiring a mass shooter.
How about the fact that you called the
grooming
shooter in the neo-Nazi Texas shooter who watched your program, you called that a false flag?
Because you don't even know anything about that story.
I do.
It was four clips of the episode, and you can see in the images he wasn't even subscribed to the channel.
Yeah, but he watched your show.
No, he did.
Right, Tim, that mass shooter watched your show, and so just because of that, you have a big popular show, but you're kind of responsible. And she doubled down on it.
Why do you think this was a neo-Nazi. Why do you think your content appeals to neo-Nazis?
Are you kidding me right now?
No, I'm just wondering why you think that.
Okay, I'm gonna do something I don't normally do, but that was an egregious over-the-line statement where I don't know if you are intentionally trying to just generate clips that are nonsensical or you're just really that stupid.
Oh, man.
She's that stupid and hypocritical. And Tim was offended, and rightfully so. He had nothing to do with that shooter and didn't inspire him in any way. But this led our boy Sean Fitzgerald, actual justice warrior, to think of something in his brain, which was Gavin Long. Are you guys familiar with Gavin Long? Well, you're about to be, because you're going to be brought up to speed. But you know, it's hard to tell people about Gavin Long because not a lot of people want to talk about it, especially not the young Turks. He's a black guy who was a huge TYT fan who went out and killed 4 cops in Baton Rouge almost 7 years ago.
We have a disturbing look this morning at the former Marine who ambushed officers Sunday in Baton Rouge. Surveillance video shows a heavily armed Gavin Long looking for targets. Hundreds of people joined families of the 3 killed officers last night in a vigil outside a Baton Rouge church.
Chilling surveillance images show the gunman, Gavin Long, clad in a short black shirt. His face was covered. He was carrying an IWI Tavor SAR 5.56 caliber rifle.
Cold, calculated, articulate in his manner.
Long shot the first 2 officers next to a beauty supply store, and then he took aim at a 3rd officer as he rushed to the scene.
Now, Sean wanted to talk about it, and he tried to slip into this conversation and mention Gavin Long, but Tim wouldn't let him and would just steamroll over him.
There was that one guy who posted Sam Cedar a whole bunch, remember? The guy who killed all those people at the bar in Ohio?
I don't remember that case specifically.
Why did that guy watch Sam Cedar so much?
Why did Gavin...
Why do you guys appeal to mass shooters? Why do mass shooters
There's a qualitative
talk about
difference.
Sam Cedar being so inspirational to them?
Why did Gavin Long...
Why is Emma Vigeland inspiring mass shooters?
Why did Gavin Long...
Why are you okay with porn being shown to children? Look, if you want to play a game of nonsense statements for political brownie points, feel free to do so. But I'll say it again.
Tim, I didn't mean to upset you.
Then you go, your show's for neo-Nazis. It's like, okay, dude, are you stupid?
I'm just stating facts.
Have you ever...
Okay, this is like lowbrow. This is why you guys have 170 Dave Rubin videos. Because you guys are grifters. This is what you do. I can invite you on for a real conversation, and what do? Your show's for neo-Nazis. This is why you guys don't get invited places. Because you're not having real conversations.
I don't really care about getting invited places.
Yeah, right, so go live in your grifter echo chamber where you guys can play songs with bad audio and then say, whoopsie.
I'm sorry, that audio thing really upset you.
Wait, have you ever covered
what upsets
the Gavin...
me is when I talk about Ron DeSantis making fake things to trick people, and that's what you guys do, it's kind of like, how about that?
We do AI images?
But used to be at TYT, and Gavin Long, who was the Baton Rouge shooter, watched, reposted, and did reactions to Young Turks videos.
And finally, he gets it in. On air, a former member of TYT, getting confronted about Gavin Long. And why? Because she invited this. She started talking about shows apparently inspiring mass shooters. Now, Tim Pool did not inspire the mass shooter she accused him of, but TYT did inspire Gavin Long to do this.
There we go! There we go! Oh my God! He's behind us!
A lot of them were straight misinformation. There was one in particular where they were going after a cop who slammed a woman, which by the way, the cop acted inappropriately, but they wildly speculated that it was a black woman.
But what's wrong with this guy? Is it like a power thing? Is it roid rage? Is it something like weirdly sexual?
I would guess the woman was not white who he did this to.
Oh.
Wildly speculated that it was a black woman. It turned out to be a white woman. And there was a call in the video of like, what do you do if you see a pregnant black woman being assaulted by a cop? Gavin Long said he's going to step up. You can watch these videos; they're available online. And he shot 4 cops.
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't my comment.
I didn't say. No, hold on. I didn't say it was your commentary, but you're saying screenshots on this guy's phone. Big problem. I got to bring it up right here. But have you ever covered at all what inspired Gavin Long?
Because
He killed 4 police officers.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. That wasn't my coverage, so I don't know. I was.
Right. So please understand, Gavin Long is watching their video where they're accusing a cop of racism because he slammed a woman to the ground. They speculated that it was a black woman, inventing racism. It wasn't. It was a white woman. And then Jimmy Dore asked the question, when do you fight back?
Compliant, right? But at the same time, if you don't know they're going to slam your head into a car or something, like, you don't want to be so compliant.
Right.
Like, so when do I fight them? When do I give a little resistance? When do you? Because I've been in.
So when do I fight them? When do I give a little resistance? When do you? Because
when do I fight them? When do I give a little resistance? What a message. Gavin Long mirrored that video, had it on his channel, and did a reaction to it, and put that on his channel. The Young Turks took those down. They copyrighted those videos once it came out that this guy committed a mass murder. They don't copyright claim any videos, but they did for Gavin Long because they never want to talk about it and they want nothing to do with this dude. They want to run and hide from their responsibility in what they did to inspire this guy. So Jimmy Dore says, you know what I would do? I'd go to the trunk of my car and go get a tire iron, implying I'm going to take that tire iron and bash the cop with it.
First of all, I want to go up to her and I want to say, like, take a deep breath. You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. And I'm saying to the cops, could you just give her a moment?
They would crack you in the head
and
so fast.
Right, they'd hit me with like, don't approach this.
They wouldn't want you to come close.
They wouldn't want me to come close.
No, they would get away, and if you don't get away, they're going to crack your head too. So what do you do in that situation? You just have to walk away and let an agent of the state brutalize a pregnant woman.
You take out your phone, you record it, but you know, it was already recorded.
So you just what if they started punching her?
Right, then
so you just let it go?
I don't know, what would you
do? At what point do you step in?
What point do you step in?
I will open my trunk and get a tire iron, and then call my dad.
And Gavin Long, the guy who killed 4 cops, and by the way, those 4 cops are featured on my shirt right here, and it's Brad Garafola, Matthew Gerald, Montrell Jackson, and Nick Toulier. Oh, and Nick Toulier didn't die immediately. He got brain damage, severe, and spent 6 years of his life trying to learn how to walk and talk, and spend some quality time with his wife and kids. His brain and his body of no use anymore, but still technically alive. He died last year, succumbed to his injuries. So that was the fate you gave Nick Toulier for doing his job. But yeah, 4 dead at the hands of Gavin Long, who is watching and reacting to your videos, spitting your vile hatred towards cops, like this.
So we gotta keep this in mind. When you're dealing with police, they're not good people. They're just people who are a little off, that are attracted to law enforcement, and it's not law enforcement, it's to brutality. That's who cops are. You have to remember that. They like to shoot. They like killing people. They like being brutal. That's why they're cops. I know that might shock people when I say that. Well, what else kind of person would become a cop if you don't enjoy being brutal?
Good. Keep going. Real big.
All right. Oh, they want to help their community. Go be a fireman. Go be an EMT. They become cops for reasons, and I'm trying to get people to think. Go become a teacher. You want to help your community. No. I want to have a gun. Yeah, those are the. We need cops. We need to have cops. We also need to have them on a short leash, because most of them are criminals themselves.
Good job. Nick, do dogs live in the ocean? Make it big.
Congratulations, you became a cop. You're an official piece of shit. Cops are fucking liars. They're criminals. They're brutal maniacs. That's why they're cops. Get that through your head. Those cops aren't out there to do good. They're not out there to protect the Constitution. They're not out there to protect anybody. They're out there to get their jollies, inflicting harm on people brutally, because that's why they're cops. If they wanted to help people, they would help those people, but they don't want to help people. They get their rocks off by doing this shit.
Here's what I'm not doing.
Oh, so Gavin Long is responding directly to Jimmy Dore now. To Jimmy Dore's call to arms, chastising people out there. What are you going to be, a pussy and just watch a police officer do whatever? You're not going to fight him? You're not going to take action and be violent against him? And here's Gavin's response. I mean, yeah, let's listen to what he's got to say, but actions speak louder than words. We know what Gavin's response was. And we know what fueled him. It was the Young Turks.
I'm not sitting and watching. That I don't know what I would do. And he says he'll get the tire iron. I don't know what I'll do. But I'm not sitting and watching. That's what I'm not doing. Everything else is off of that. The damn city is, they're defending the cops. The city is defending the cops. Who's there to defend the woman? Just like he said. We see this all over the place. White women, black women, Asian women. This is everywhere. This ain't no race thing. These motherfuckers is animals. They're not thinking.
Cops are fucking liars. They're criminals. They're brutal maniacs. That's why they're cops. Get that through your head.
So, this is what I see. I'm not thinking. I see two men, both armed, attacking a pregnant woman who was not attempting to harm them. And they know she's pregnant. No, she don't even gotta be pregnant. She's a woman. She's not attempting to harm you. That's all I see. Two armed men. Again, let me repeat. Because this is very simple. Again.
There's almost no situation. By the way, there's nothing to de-escalate. Nothing's happened. They come in, they escalate.
That's right.
The cops came in. You're supposed to be the de-escalator. You came in and escalated the situation.
We're in a police state. Police get to do whatever they want, even though it's illegal. We all know that she does not have to give her name. The cop already said it wasn't a crime, yet they fucking brutalize her anyway, and the city defends them, and everybody's okay with it because they're cops.
No, I'm not okay with it. I wouldn't give a damn if, we have 7 billion people on the planet. And listen, if 6,999,999,000 of you were okay with this, I wouldn't be okay with it. I would have rebelled. I would have stepped in. I would have came through. I would have not complied. I would have died by protecting that woman.
And you did die. Yeah, you did die. You got shot. You got put down because you ambushed and killed 4 innocent cops. And of course, Emma Vigeland doesn't even know about this and doesn't care. And now that she does know about it and was told about it on a massive stream that she went on, she's still not going to talk about it.
Continue, Sean.
Yeah, so if screenshots, which are of clips that weren't even him speaking, is Tim Pool inspiring the shooter, then how come you've never done this commentary at a place you used to work at of direct inspiration? Like he saw a clip, cuts to himself saying, I'm going to step up because I'm the real one.
I've never heard of this. So
that's interesting that you never heard of that.
Well, so it happened. Why do you think it is that your former program appealed to mass shooters so much?
I cover right-wingers.
And Cenk Uygur, Anna Kasparian, John Adirola, they all dodge this. Jimmy Dore, please. They take zero responsibility. Meanwhile, the families of those fallen cops should be informed about this and should sue them. A civil suit and rake them for millions. Because you inspired a man to kill. And it's not even ambiguous. And by the way, the whole context of the shooting was that Gavin Long, the straw that broke the camel's back for him, was the shooting of Alton Sterling in Baton Rouge. That's why he went to Baton Rouge. He was trying to go kill the cops who had killed Alton Sterling.
The gunman who killed 3 law enforcement officers in Baton Rouge searched online for the home addresses of the white officers involved in the shooting death of Alton Sterling. Now, that's one of the new details released today after a year-long investigation by the East Baton Rouge District Attorney's Office.
He tried to find their names and address, but he couldn't find those, so instead he just killed 4 random cops. The story of Alton Sterling was, this was some fat criminal who was brandishing a weapon and threatening people at a local 7-Eleven. And so the cops get called in. This guy has a criminal past. He's in and out of jail. He's resisted arrest in the past, and he's pulled guns on cops in the past. This time, they try to detain him. They tase him. He's resisting arrest. There's 2 cops. They're on his back. The guy's a blood gangster. All right. And what does he do? He reaches for a gun. There's a gun in his pocket. He's reaching for the gun. And so the cop, after tasing him, trying to detain him, telling him not to reach for the gun, he decides to shoot him in self-defense because this gangster is reaching for a gun. Not really much of a story here. Of course, the Young Turks decided to inflame it and pretended like it was the most egregious thing ever, and that the police are these insane animals who are just out to kill, blacks in particular. And Cenk Uygur and the Young Turks, they know about the words they use and how they describe things, how they frame things, and how that can lead to violence. They're very quick to tell you about Tiller, the baby killer, the guy who performed abortions and then was eventually killed because Bill O'Reilly kept calling him a baby killer.
The fact that Bill Bill O'Reilly is defiant on this issue and refuses to accept the fact that his rhetoric is violent and it leads to death, shows you what a hypocrite he is when it comes to his pro-life stance. And he has blood on his hands. I'm going to be absolutely clear about that.
And Cenk Uygur knows about the word executing. That abortionist is executing babies, executing. Well, if you keep saying executing, well, then someone's going to be like, well, damn, there's a guy executing babies. Maybe we should kill him.
And definitely aided and abetted by Bill O'Reilly, among others, who kept calling him, because they thought they were so clever, Tiller the baby killer. And there's a clip of O'Reilly on the web now where he says for about 1 minute and 40 seconds straight, it's one clip after another where he calls him baby killer, baby killer. Says what he did was the equivalent of the Nazis and that he executed and terminated babies. Now, when you use language like executed and terminated, what is the proper response for that? In a lot of people's minds, they think, well, if he's executing babies, we have to make him stop. In fact, Bill O'Reilly and other conservative hosts would say from time to time, George Tiller must be stopped. And so a crazy guy goes and stops him by killing him.
So knowing that, Cenk, knowing that, guess what they call their coverage of Alton Sterling? The blood gangster who's pulling a gun on cops and resisting arrest? They call that Baton Rouge Police execution of Alton Sterling. Well, I guess you guys know what that's going to lead to. Because Gavin Long was watching that video just like he was watching the video where Jimmy Dore says,
you don't want to be so compliant.
Right.
Like, so when do I fight them? When do I give a little resistance? When do you, because I've been in a...
So when do I fight them?
And when he's talking about, I'm going to go get my tire iron, and Gavin Long is musing, I don't know what I would do, but yeah, I'm with you, Jimmy. I think it's time to fight back against the cops.
What point do you step in?
I will open my trunk and get a tire iron and then call my dad.
Here's what I'm not doing. I'm not sitting and watching. That I don't know what I would do. And he says he'll get the tire iron. I don't know what I'll do.
And so what are we left with? We're left with an ex-Marine with PTSD and depression, clearly a troubled guy, Gavin Long, watching your content, being inspired to and incited into committing violence against cops. And Anna Kasparian knows this.
Well, I think that what you're doing right now is touching on something that I don't think gets talked about enough when it comes to covering Black Lives Matter or police officials. Look, I know that it's very easy to, and it's human nature, to just paint everything as black and white, right? You're either all in or you're all out. You're either with them or you're against them. And that's the way a lot of these stories get talked about. So you're either 100% in favor of the cops or you're 100% against the cops. No, but there are gradations, right? There are situations where cops abuse their power. And when you call them out on that, that is justified. You want reform. You don't want violence against them. Yeah. Same with Black Lives Matter. One violent person is not representative of an entire movement, but simple-minded individuals want to just make, just paint a broad picture of an entire movement or an entire group of people. And that's a really big problem, because when you have someone who's unhinged, right, and they hear that type of rhetoric, it's going to push them to do violent things.
Yeah.
But the Young Turks have never been held responsible for this, never comment on it, tried to take down their videos that Gavin Long had posted to his channel, and the worst thing, most people don't know about it, and they've gotten away with it. There's blood on their hands, and yet they've gotten away with inspiring a mass killer to kill cops after soaking up their content, which directed him to do so. And now we got 4 dead cops who are not coming back. They're dead. Gavin Long is dead. The story's dead. And what about TYT's involvement and the shame that they deserve? The fact that their company should be imploded over this? The fact that this isn't the only person they've inspired to kill? Do me a favor and let them know that no one's ever going to let them off on this. Let them know that their silence on this, their prolonged, consistent, and predictable silence on this is shameful and disgusting. Tweet at them. Comment at them. Do not let them off the hook, but trust me, it's not about public shaming. These people are beyond shame. They're shameless. It's about money at this point, because the deed is done. But the facts and the truth of why Gavin Long did what he did remains a secret for most. Most people are totally ignorant of it. But when the families catch wind of what happened to their beloved father, son, brother, husband, I think it's time for a class action lawsuit against the Young Turks for aiding and abetting the murder of these 4 men. This is not a 50-50 case. It's not a gray zone area. They inspired Gavin Long to kill cops, period. This isn't about YouTube, it's not about clicks, it's not about an own, it's not about dunking on the libs, nothing like that. This is about accountability for the actions of the Young Turks and the fact that they've never been held accountable for this. So please take action, share this video, and grill the Young Turks about this forever.
All right? And another point I wanted to make. All right? That was the point.